So my name is Austin White. I am an intelligence analyst. My first experience with the spiritual world was a house that we lived on in East Aurora. It was an older house we actually rented. It was up on Ruskin Avenue, which was an older part of East Aurora, overlooking what was the village. And the basement had a small bar. And this is kind of where I shape my understanding of the spiritual world, because that small bar, it was just a little back bar, like saloon doors to get into the back bar, and then maybe three seats length bar. And every time I walked downstairs, whether the light was on or off, didn't matter, if you would look to your right, you'd see kind of like this old-fashioned setting where there was a guy behind the bar pouring drinks. He was in a vest, kind of the like somewhere in the 30s or 40s style maybe, and there was two people, and he would be serving them. And if you looked, when you came down the stairs, you'd see them. If you looked away and then looked back, they'd be gone. The apparitions looked like physical humans. They looked like, if I hadn't looked at them, looked away and looked back at them, they could have easily had been there all day drinking, interacting with each other. And this was every time you walked down. This wasn't just like I could do that, walk back upstairs, come right back down, and it would happen again. And I always kind of felt, rather than it being spirits of like people who had passed away, essentially I just felt like this basement, in either another time, another space, another universe, was a saloon. And it was a small local watering hole where that bartender worked and the customers frequented relatively often. And I wasn't necessarily seeing what was happening in this area 60 years ago. I was seeing what was happening now in a universe that resembled ours, but was maybe 50, 40, 60 years behind us. We would make a game of like going down and trying not to look away. And it was essentially like, if you blinked, they were gone. If you looked away, they were gone. And I remember getting like in the teens of seconds, like 15 about seconds, and then you blink and they'd leave. And they didn't notice you. They didn't look up. They never made any type of like acknowledgement to you. Even if you like ran down the stairs and looked over, they were in their own physical space. They were in their own universe, had absolutely no cares for you. In my mind, it felt more like this spot in a different space, a different universe, is where someone goes to drink.